Tell the people who Nino Cappuccino is.
Nino Cappucino. First and foremost, I thank God that I'm a son of God, and I've given that part of me and myself back to my Father God, and that I'm a devoted father. That's first and foremost. Nino Cappucino is an aspiring man, a strong black man, a strong king, a leader. Soon, I'm knocking back on the industry door as far as my acting career, producing, directing, and writing. Niggas better get ready, man. Bow. Sides your head. Watch. We are taught to serve God. Me going back to school was a must and very important, especially stepping into this corporate industry, because when I had the opportunity to be in position to get my production deal, like I said, from Death Row, I didn't just take $350,000 and split it two other ways, actually three ways, because we had a silent partner, again, like I said, and I paid Teddy Riley $80,000 to produce our album, our first album. So I paid Teddy Riley, the producer Teddy Riley, $80,000 to produce on our album, and the homie Vincent Concepcion, we paid him as well as a producer and engineer to produce on the album. So I knew that going to school at this time now, it was the time for me to go back and really, really capitalize on my education as far as elevating it to the other heights now, as far as getting my degrees, the paperwork, being stamped, and knowing this business. I come from a family background of education. Like, that was the key. It was power for me. So school was something that was a must. And me being in the streets, I still educated myself. I read books. I would be in the street hustling and have a novel somewhere around me or in my car or something. So in between time, I'm sitting up, waiting on customers. I'll be reading, or doing some math, or resolving a crossword puzzle of the hardest kind, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just doing something to elevate my mind and my brain. So when I decided to go back to school to pursue my degrees, because I lost out on a scholarship opportunity to go play football for FSU, I ended up going to, prison for manufacturing, ADW, getting caught with a pistol. So I blew my opportunity of a scholarship and getting the full ride at FSU and playing football. And from there, that just took me out of my equation of sports where, I didn't lose the knack for it. My hustle was so astonishing and impeccable to the point where I was on point with it. I just fed into it consistently to where I just build on that and got my money, man. Just kept getting my money and living from that aspect. And told myself I can make more money in the streets than becoming a football player or a baseball player any damn way. And, I ran with that psychological aspect of it, telling myself that when I know damn well that's a lie, because I could have made 3 times as more legitimately from being in these streets without the stress. But that was just my way of saying, because I knew I messed up. I have a 2020 release coming up. It's called Truce, America's Untold True Story. And it's about the uprising of the 1992 Peace Treaty, which I am one of the founders and one of the main advocates to represent the Bloods of Nixon Gardens, housing projects, High Sienna housing projects, Circle City, 10-8, which is 108th. I represent the Damus, Bellhaven, everything coming from Watts at that time. I was the representative, and I helped put that movement together, along with Dawood Sherrills out of Jordan Down Housing Projects, Dwayne A.K. Snipe Holmes, and Sister, Donnie Boy, Big Hank, Bobby Gush, Father Mujahi, and a host of others. And it's an upcoming doc film. It's epic. It's horrific. It's history. It's something I guarantee has never, ever been seen before and captured on camera. You have never seen all 4 major housing projects ever captured on film and cinematic ever on one film. It has never been done. But you will see it in 2020, man. Truce coming at you.
Do you ever think we'll see a time, man, to where the brothers in L.A. will actually just link up, man, with Mexicans and all that, man, like all the minorities just link up, man, and really just put this power structure that we capable of having together?
Honestly, no. Is it possible? Hell yes. The reason why my answer is no is because the masses is going to make sure that don't happen. The masses is going to make sure that we don't allow them to have another peace treaty in this damn city again. Because when Watts decided to have a peace treaty in 1992, it brought conflict to our fucking offices. It put a damp and a dampage into our budgets and our money in our pockets because these assholes decided to stop killing each other, and stop murdering, and stop going to jail. And when they decided to do that, we got problems. We don't have no more enslavement. We don't have no more individuals to throw in the slavery pot to do our dirty work on our jobs. We don't have no more license plate makers, t-shirt makers. When they decide to be smart and do that, it's going to become a problem because now that means everything transition and changes over. They get money. They get paid. They become corporate America. They become tax-paying citizens. They become smart and intelligent. And we don't want that. So that's the reason why I say no. And again, the reason why I say no is because you have so many that's already brainwashed to that degree of what I just, the description I just gave, and brainwashed to that degree where they're going to participate with the masses and make sure this shit don't happen. They're going to be the one that they're going to infiltrate and buy and say, okay, we'll put you over here and put you on this pedestal. Just make sure you infiltrate and don't make that shit don't not happen. So it'll always be a lug wrench during the game.
Oh, wow.
It would be impossible to bring black and brown together in this city, combined together completely, cease fire, no more killings, no more criminal elements. Then what are you going to do with all the rest of the energy? That means that energy has to go somewhere. And if that energy flows into corporate America got a problem now. They don't want that. They don't want that problem, which it ain't even a problem. That's the way it should be. They should allow us to eat. They should allow us to be able to merge together, come together as men, of cultures and different businesses and different entities and get money. But they don't want that, so that's why the shit is separation. Why do you think we live in a city? See, I didn't grow up in a city like this where it was a rainbow. I didn't grow up seeing all type of different fucking cultures today in this city. I didn't grow up seeing this shit, man. This shit was all predestined and planned from the giddy up, bro.
So that's how you start getting like the different Korean store owners.
Exactly. This shit was all predestined and planned. See, at first, we didn't have government sponsors and government programs come down in our neighborhoods and open up stores and swap meets and shit because we maintain and control the neighborhoods and communities ourselves because we maintain ownership. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. So after the 80s and the crack epidemic came in and blew a hole and knocked the roof, I'm talking about a hole in every neighborhood and every community, man, and broke down the strongest of the strongest, man, to the weak of the weak. They got everybody mad at each other, hating each other, and anger and ready to kill on point. And I didn't grow up seeing this shit, man. And now it's like you find yourself walking down the street and getting into an argument with a real Russian, a motherfucker from Russia, in America. They came in and they regentrified everything, rebought properties, hooked the properties up, made them look good and nice. And next thing you know, we got people who don't even speak English moving into the neighborhoods, opening up these stores from the last of the 80s to the early 90s. Our people didn't realize and didn't capitalize off of, man, is the fact that what happened was the government started kicking in and he established these programs. And our people don't even have the knowledge and the educational knowledge to even know this and realize that this was a program, again, that was predestined and designed to come in and take control of our neighborhoods to put us in a poverty-stricken area. So that's why I say it's not impossible, but it won't happen because they're not going to allow it to happen. I learned this through researching and educating myself to find out by dealing with banks after banks and then questioning these damn banks. What makes me different from the damn Korean who come in here and get a loan from you, but then I come in here, you want all my paperwork, you want all my shit data from I to T's and shit. You want everything to be correct. So why can't I get the same loan they get? Then what was his collateral? He came from Indonesia. You can't tell me this motherfucker got $50,000 worth of collateral already and he came poor over here from Indonesia. Then what is his collateral? Why can't I get the same loan? And that's how I learned these things. Because they instilled in the information to me. They gave the information to me and told me. I said, what? So you mean to tell me this how these some bitches been coming over here and winning? The government? They need the W. They need the W to become the clinching of Los Angeles now. See, it used to be a time they didn't want us. That's why in my film, it gives you all that historical information of how Watts was even established. See, cats don't even know when your projects was even born. My project was born in 1955. Feel me? Pure Chords, 1954. High Sanders was the first projects built in 1942.
Because they was really built for the Mexican workers.
No, they were no.
For the black.
They were built for World War I, II, man. For the soldiers, for the women whose sons and fathers went off to fight a war. They were only temporary. That's why they built like military barracks. So it was built for the war. And for the war, that's why in the 70s, in the 60s and the 70s, we had so many manufactured like industrials all around Watts and all around LA. So all the family members, they worked in those industrials then. When they tore them down, they made this, what's called this Referendum Act, to where they kept everybody in Watts, in those projects, stuck where you couldn't go out and buy homes. You couldn't purchase homes. And that's how that community was built. But again, that's another story that's based on my film. And again, like I say, Watts now is like a monument piece that they need to become a part of Los Angeles again. They need that to merge with Los Angeles. So when all these tourists come to town, and all the tourists who come from different Europe and different countries who have heard about Watts and the great Watts Tower, and they want to see the towers, now they can go over there and they see everything in peace. And they see everything is built up, is broad. Hell, I even want to live in Watts. Oh, you can. We have condominiums over here now because you can afford them. But the citizens of Watts can't. They can't pay $2,000 for a one-bedroom. They can't pay $3,000 for a two-bedroom in a condominium just because it's in Watts. So what they do is, by the people not being smart and understanding the genocides and the regenification of their moves, they thinking they're getting a better situation, which is to a certain point now. Don't get me wrong, because if you got action to move out of an apartment into a home, that's way better for you and your family. Way better. And that's something you should have did on your own instead of having the government come push you out psychologically. You should have did that shit on your own. So now what it is once you're out there, now you're in the real world. And you have to sustain that real world money, that real world rent, that rent control, all the rules that comes with it. There ain't no more project rules. It ain't easy. It ain't an easy ride no more. Now you got to really be responsible. And when that happens, now you find others who they thought was responsible. When they get in the real world, they become homeless. Now you're part of the homeless bandwagon. And that's what we seeing today. That's what we see just going on right now today. A lot of people that's on these social media pages, a lot of people that's out here posting up things on their social media pages. Man, they ain't really living them damn lives, man. That shit is fake. 75 to 80% of the money that's shown online is props. This shit is props. You can go buy the shit now. This is how far game fucked up and watered the game and got, man, where it's like fake it till you make it. What the fuck is that? Fake it till you make it. I never would understand that analogy, bro. You feel me? Fake it till you make it, because it's like if you have the goals to be able to fake something and that's in you and that's your character, then that's who you really are. You're a fake ass character, period. That's just you. You fake.